The law we have today is a product of extensive consultations, but for the contribution,
Mani has actually applauded for opening up the consultation, unlike the previous government where they didn't open up.
And I say we have this law fit for purpose in this current state because of the invaluable contributions of various stakeholders. So we appreciate, their contributions. Unfortunately, in the case of my brother Kofi Banter, I'm not really getting, the crux of the issues he's raising. First of all, let's understand why Ghana needs gold. Look, gold is a precious mineral we've been endowed with as a country over the years. But we all agree that as a nation, we have not derived the necessary benefits we ought to have derived from it. And that is because government has not taken keen interest in the trading of that precious mineral called gold. Our focus has been on royalties and taxes. But in terms of how gold is traded and how the states can maximize benefit from that, we've not done that as a country since independence. Okay? Nkrumah wanted to do something like that. And so in 1963, he set up the Diamond Marketing Board, which metamorphosed into PMMC. Okay? And so what President Mahama is saying is that let's have a commodity board for gold and other precious minerals that monopolizes the trading of that commodity so that the states can get the needed benefits we need from it. What benefits are we talking about? Number one, foreign exchange. Gold is one of the highest earners of foreign exchange in the world. We've done something brilliant with cocoa despite the challenges we've had with Cocoa Board's management. Okay? Cocoa Board has been a blessing to the state year in, year out because it is the main commodity that brings in foreign exchange in advance for us as a people. We are able to get, under the NDC, the actual NDC government, Cocoa Board could give us $2 billion in forex sitting at the Bank of Ghana at the beginning of the cocoa season. And that is what served as the bulwark of our national currency. The two main sources of forex for Ghana has been cocoa and borrowing from the Eurobond market, or borrowing in general. Today, Cocoa Board has been mismanaged, is on its knees, collapsed by the MPP. They can't go and even syndicate funds again. Ghana as a country has also been locked out of the capital market. We can't go on the Eurobond market and borrow in dollars again. Where do we get dollars for the woman at Makola who wants dollars to import rice or sugar from China? Where do we get dollars to support our currency? So the previous government started something which was good, a domestic gold purchasing program by the Bank of Ghana. Safe to say that it was shrouded in opacity, and the entities, the main entity which was powering it, the Bank of Ghana, did not have the powers to sanitize the markets. And so they were doing the right thing in a wrong policy environment, which has led to huge losses on the books of Bank of Ghana. Bank of Ghana buys gold, MIF, another state agency buys gold, PMMC is buying gold, you have many traders, and the market is dominated by foreigners, mainly Indians and Chinese, and they are reaping the benefit of this important resource relative to trading. So Mahama and the NDC says, you know what? Let all these state agencies back out. Let's upgrade PMMC into Goldbod. And let this be the sole agency responsible for buying, selling, assaying, and exporting this mineral gold, so that we can track all the forex and bring the forex back. Today, Kofi Banter may know, before Bank of Ghana intervened in the market, gold was being exported by bullion traders, 70% of whom are foreigners. Which is wrong, yes. And they are required by law to repatriate the dollars, the forex, within 30 days of export. It's only 80%, not 100%. Even that, they don't comply. Agreed. And so when you hear that gold gave Ghana $11.5 billion in 2024, small scale contributing $4.6 billion, you ask yourself, where did the money go to? If government is the one buying and exporting, the dollars will be here. You get the dollars every 3 days, every 4 days, the dollars is here. Now, so that is the whole rationale. We need dollars to stabilize the exchange rates. Government cannot see this important role to Chinese and Indians and private Ghanaians who have proven over the years that they are not interested in repatriating the forest.
Agreed.
So government says, I'm intervening. I want to do this myself. You continue to buy, but buy for me and I will do the export. I will even give you the money to buy. And I'm regulating you to make sure that you do not smuggle the gold and we do not lose the needed revenue and dollars. And I even want to move from exporting dory, unrefined gold, to exporting bullion through value addition. I want to move from the total export of all our dory, unrefined gold, and even allocate some for the downstream fabrication companies to use gold for jewelry and other ornaments. I also want to ensure supply chain traceability so that the gold we get from small-scale mining, which at the moment is not accepted by the LBMA market, can be accepted and can form part of our gold reserves. This is the reason why we are doing Goldbod. Now, concern number one. You say that, number one, the last time a government sought to do this was Ejapa. Please, senior, this one you know. Ejapa is nothing like Goldbod. Ejapa was a government, yes, you know that. Ejapa was a government seeking to monetize
I said that, yes.
our mineral royalties over 15 years, investing that in an SPV, a company incorporated in a tax haven. And you, from Imani, you came out and showed that that was totally undervalued and we're going to lose money. Goldbod is here in Ghana, wholly owned by Ghana. Ghana government is giving us money to buy gold and export the gold and bring the dollars in within a period of 3 to 4 days. Legitimate question, you say that Goldbod is being given too much powers, regulation and commercial. Not necessarily so. You see, Goldbod has no competitor when it comes to its core mandate of trading gold, which is buying, assaying, and exporting gold. It has no competitor. So where would the conflict of interest arise? Where? Because Goldbod is an entity, just like Cocoa Board, giving the power and the right to buy and export gold. Okay? Now, Goldbod says, I don't want to nationalize it. Ghana is not a communist country. So government will not be the one buying it itself. Just like Cocoa Board give licenses to buying companies and gives them seed money to buy cocoa for it, we will also license aggregators and buyers and give them money to buy gold for us. So the private sector players still continue to do business, but they buy for and on behalf of the Goldbod. So the regulatory powers we have been given relative to this core mandate is so that we can regulate the people we have given license to, we have given money to buy gold for and on our behalf. It's as simple as that. We are not going to be a player and a referee. For example, if Goldbod was one buyer in the market and there are other independent buyers in the market, and we are a buyer, commercial entity, commercial role, and yet the regulator of the other buyers, that's conflict of interest. In this case, Goldbod is the only entity buying, selling, assaying, and exporting. It has licensed agents doing that trade for and on its behalf with funds advanced to them by the Goldbod. And Parliament says we are giving you powers so that you can inspect the premises of these people. The provisions you made reference to, Section 44, Section 45, is the power of a Goldbod inspector to go to the premises of a licensed agent of Goldbod to check his books, to see where...
There are many subsequent to that, the tribunals and things.
NCA has a tribunal. These are new provisions we put in our laws to enhance alternative dispute resolution. It's not a matter of giving too much power to an agency. So that issue is totally moot. No issue of conflict of interest arises in this issue. And I say that with all due respect, you know.
As for the tribunal, it's not only NCA. There are
many agencies. And you check all the laws, it is there. Right. Because we want to encourage, you see, they themselves, the parties, they love it. Because they know that when they go to court, something will tell you, he is in court with PMMC. How many years has that case been?
Oh, come on.
How many years?
Please put that aside.
many years. So they are happy.
That's
and the central and look, this tribunal, the fact that it's a Goldbod tribunal doesn't mean that it takes instruction from the CEO. The chairman of the tribunal is a retired justice of the Superior Court, set up like a court.
Yeah.
So
I was just saying that in fact the ADR mechanisms, you find them in over 30 legislations in this country.
I know how those things.
So that is not too much power. But the most fundamental point, Sam said, he makes the point that why should government put money in the purchase or the trading of gold? And that very soon we will set up a program.
Amin Adam has also raised that. The minority has raised that.
He raised that from the outset when we went to the committee.
Before the passage.
Yeah,
correct.
when he went there and he read this, he himself applauded it. He said he tried to do something like that. Let me show you why.
He says,
let me show you why you need government.
He says when the MPP regime was doing the gold policy, they never put state money.
So where were they getting?
They never put budget into it.
Bank of Ghana was
and you can also do
Bank of Ghana was printing money to buy gold, number one. And Bank of Ghana was taking CDs from BDCs.
That's a wild allegation.
So where does Bank of Ghana get money from to buy 20% of the gold produced by large-scale mining companies? No, tell me. Well, where does the Bank of Ghana, when Bank of Ghana, why has the IMF told the Bank of Ghana to stop?
Doesn't have that
monetary finance. But let me answer his question. Let me tell you why there cannot be any nobler, agenda for government to spend public funds on than gold trading. Let me tell you that. You see, it is true. Goldbod, we don't need money from government before we can buy gold as an institution. Because there are many people, as I sit here, across the world, from UAE, India, Europe, chasing us with dollars. Take our money and buy gold. Take our money. They are chasing us across the world with billions of dollars.
Great idea and whatever it is. When you concentrate commercial activity, plus regulatory activity, plus all of that in a government institution with powers to interact with people and industry and others within that ecosystem. And that, if you look at Section 44, so we have some of the bills. I'll be looking for the actual one that was passed. Going down, they have tribunals, they have inspectors. Yes, the president appoints some of those people and all those things, but that is why I say the assumption is that we have perfect people working with perfect systems in a perfect environment. Gold is a spirit, I've told you.
But that's something you can't help.
No, you can't help it.
You're setting up an institution and it's people who populate it who do the job.
You can help it. That's why we have, for instance, in governance separation of powers. That is why across this country you will see you have regulators, you have commercial actors.
If the people will be bad, they'll be bad. If they'll be corrupt, they'll be corrupt.
No, that is where you don't have to make the assumption that you are going to have perfect people. You hedge against these things. Why separation of powers is there not because people are bad persons.
So in this Goldbod, where have they gone wrong, and what is the preemption you are making about the temptation to...
You don't have the time, so let me give you the wrong things. A few examples. Number one, today as we speak, gold is extremely hot. Like, gold is the price of gold has gone very high. There's a lot of money chasing gold. I can tell you, now here, market, there is no need for government to put any state funds behind the buying of gold. And market, every money we put as a government behind the buying of gold today, tomorrow we'll come back and we'll establish probes around it because they will be wasted and looted. You can arrange such that private funds will go. There are enough people trying to buy gold. All right? And then when you have this situation where, in law, when you are a government and you are the sovereign, and you enter into commercial activity, you go to the level, Goldbod is almost operating at every level. Okay? For instance,
it's a one-stop shop.
That is the problem. So
that's the prescription we have loved. One-stop shop.
It's the wrong prescription. I'm saying
so you have control.
If you had the time, I'll show you where in this country we have departed from that and internationally it's wrong. So I'm saying, look, if you are the person buying the gold, and then you are the same person saying that the gold is 60% pure or 50% pure, after a while, you will buy the gold. When it's 90% pure, you say it's 60% pure because you are the one who determines it. Okay, when the commercial entity is also the regulating entity, that one is the one you are dealing with somebody, but you are the person policing the person. There are too many conflicts there. So we are saying, look, in our eagerness to try and stop Galamsey, to try and get things out of gold and whatever it is, we may be making too many mistakes. Look, it's a good direction, but this model is problematic.
So